estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host and business partner, Joey Sampaga. Man with the plan back there. How you doing today, Joey?
Pretty good. What's going on?
Oh, we got a great guest in the house with us.
We do.
Absolutely. That guest today is Rich Baca with the Baca team at Keller Williams Arizona Realty.
Thank you for having me.
I did it right. That's
cool,
right?
A little Baca.
Okay.
A little more of an A.
A little too much R.
A little too much R.
That's awesome. Thanks, Rich, for being here, man.
Thank you for having me.
You're going to give us some knowledge. I know it.
I'm going to share what I've been taught.
There we go. There we go. Why don't we start by letting the agents know how long you've been in business and what got you into real estate altogether?
Yeah. I got into the business of March of 2010, so obviously the best time in the world to get into real estate, right?
Yeah. Well, it was becoming a very good time to buy.
It was, and when the market's like that, there's a lot of opportunity. And, I'm the typical person that got into real estate because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and you can make a lot of money. Well, that's what I thought.
That's what you hear that,
that's what
right?
everyone thinks.
Well, at least it looks like they do, right? Because everybody drives a Beamer and
we look good on social media, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's one of those professions. I think a lot of people fake it until they
make it.
Well, some of them fake it until they leave the business because they don't have any more money to spend. Yeah. Anyway, so it was 2010.
March.
Wow.
Yeah, March of 2010.
Well, that's actually probably a pretty good time to get in there. A lot of people probably left the business.
When I got into the industry, I was getting $3,000-$4,000 checks. I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of money. I thought that was a good amount for the amount of time that you put into it to get a check for $3,000-$4,000. When other people I'm used to getting $12,000 checks.
Right.
I'm like, hey, $4,000 3-4 times a month. That's pretty good.
All right. So people are listening. They're probably thinking, well, he's got a little bit of an accent.
Yeah, from Alaska.
Yeah.
Wow, Boston.
Right. Boston.
Born and raised in Boston.
That's awesome. I've never been there. My wife has always said we want to go check out that part of the country. But
great food.
Yeah,
I love the food and the great history as well. I'm more into the food part though.
Yeah, that's right. So why don't you tell us? I know that you're big on farming, and so explain a little bit about that. And I know you mentioned to us being focused more on going deep instead of just wide all the time. So
yeah, absolutely. In today's market, I've been taught from the beginning to really start a farm and really stick with the farm. And the biggest challenge with that is when you're farming, you're looking at a good 12, 18 months before you really start seeing that machine and that engine start really turning. So it's really hanging in there until you get to that time frame. And really going deep in the community, not just throwing it out there that I'm working in your neighborhood and, do some open houses, do some door knocking, and after 3-4 months you call it quits. It's consistently contributing to the community that you want to work in.
Got it. Okay.
And it's strategic giving. I mean, it's giving back to that community. If you're going to give, we're here making money, and money is good, but if you can't do anything with it, what good is it? So really just giving back to the community and showing that you really care.
Absolutely. So when you say farm area, then what would you, for people listening right now, do you have a very specific, no further north than this, no further south, east, west, or is it like an actual community?
Right.
Or what makes the most sense for you right now?
Yes, I always tell everyone when you're first getting started with farming, farming can mean your database, right?
Yeah,
if you don't have an area that you're really working, farm your database, right? Do it very strategic between direct mail piece, phone calls, social media boosting, and client appreciation events, right?
Yep.
If you have a community that you want to work and you're just getting started, pick a street, pick 2 streets, then pick a block, then pick a neighborhood, right? So you can start small and you can grow it out to big as you want. We started in Fountain Hills for our farm. I used to play Major League Baseball with the Cubs, and when I moved out to Arizona full time, I moved to Fountain Hills. I just loved the community, and I got involved with the community through baseball and teaching lessons and Little League, president, and all that stuff. And I thought it was a great community to start. And I didn't have a big budget. Like I said, pick a street, then pick 2. Right, and then expand out from there. Now our farm area is the community of Fountain Hills.
Got it. All right. What would you say is what's been the most successful part of your farm, as far as a certain type of marketing piece, or whether it's mailers or calls or?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's everything. There's not one specific leg that I can say that works better than the other, because it's all about impressions and how many different ways can you be in front of them. they may see a sign in the ground, and that prompted them to finally call you. Yet they got the direct mail piece, they got your phone calls, they got charity event calls, your neighborhood watch parties that we do. But all of a sudden they see a sign in the ground down the neighbor and they call you. So it's not just one thing; it's a combination of all of them. And staying consistent. That's the biggest thing: is consistency with the message and and what you're doing in that community.
Got it. All right. No, that's great. So what are you doing right now? Like what are you? Because I know the market has gotten to a point. You mentioned while we were getting ready for the show that you feel like successful agents are having to do more, right, to still have the same impact as far as their reach. Yeah,
and it's right now with the activity that we typically have done in the past few years that gave us pretty good results. We noticed that we were slipping a little bit on the results, and the only thing that I could think of is that we just need to double down on the activity. Instead of making 20 contacts a day, it's making 40 contacts a day. Instead of doing 2 open houses a week, it's 4. So it's just really pushing on the activity. With that inventory being so tight right now, there's a lot of us, a lot of the teams out there and a lot of the solo agents that are good. It's just that we're fighting over the same property. Instead of 1 or 2 people, now if there's 5 to 10 people. So it's really working hard and getting more educated so you can show value to your client, why they should choose you as a solo agent or why they should choose you as a team.
Yeah. And we've seen a massive number of people get into the business over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate this is. Somebody had mentioned they thought it was up to between entities and single, sales people. It was like 60,000 or something like that for Maricopa County.
That's amazing.
Which is a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
And there's still, that trajectory is still up.
Yeah.
But when you see the market get the way it is.
Well, it's perception, right?
Yeah.
It's perception. The general public, they're seeing that, prices are increasing. And they think you could put a popsicle stick with a sign in the ground, you can get your home sold. So why not go into real estate, do 2 or 3 a year, and I'm good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but if we see, if we're starting to see a shift, if it's starting to happen, and I'm not talking about massive collapse or anything like before, and who knows where we are a year from now or 2 years from now, but right now we may be seeing a little bit of a slowdown just because of the inventory, and it's pushed the prices up so much that buyers are a little hesitant. But I think more so the sellers are feeling like they can't put their house on the market because they can't find it.
Yeah, they don't know where to go. Right? They're looking at their home that maybe they'll just update it and stay put, because with the inventory shrinking, when a nice new home or remodeled home comes on the market, there's 10-15 people looking at that.
Yeah.
So they're competing and they don't like what's on the market, and they're like, hey, I'll just put some money into my own home and I'll stay here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we've had, I think they said over $1 trillion in equity built up, not here physically in Phoenix, but on a national scale over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So people are sitting on a lot of equity right now. Some people are.
Yeah, they're sitting on a lot, and it's just showing them of how they can, sell their home and get them into a new home, and maybe put money into that home and upgrade. Because a lot of people right now, they're empty nesters. They want to downsize, so they're in a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot home. They want to get into maybe a 2,500 square foot home that's not remodeled yet. Take the equity out of the the larger home that they just had and remodel a smaller home.
There you go. You could just sell her house, take all that equity, put it in the bank, sell them a tiny home, and then they can go travel anywhere.
That's or they can pull it on the back of the truck, right? Yeah.
If that's what they want.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't want that, but anyway. So with some of the changes that we're seeing, technology is big.
It's crazy.
The whole open door thing and OfferPad and all these other companies that are jumping into this. Where do you see technology for just your standard, realtor that's trying to get things going?
Done. Yeah. Technology is extremely important in today's market. It just makes our lives a lot simpler when you're out on the road, in the field working.
Yeah.
And we have to embrace it. A lot of people have been doing this for a while. We're not seeing them embrace it. And unfortunately, they're probably going to be left behind. The good thing is that technology is never going to take the place of the belly to belly, the face to face, right?
Yeah.
That's a must. You'll never replace that. We just need the technology to enhance us as agents that are out in the field to enable us, and not let it just take over the world for us. And we talk on our team. when you send a text message to someone and you get a response, that's not a connect, because we don't want our agents, relying on, I don't want to make that phone call, send an email, send a text message. Well, if they respond, that's a connect. No, it's not. That's where you start losing the credibility with your client, right? They're like, they're just texting, it's email. It's not face to face. Let's have that emotional conversation with them and bring them down the path of buying and selling, why this is a good investment. When you buy a home, it's one of the single largest purchases you'll ever make in your life, and you want to do that through just text only.
Right?
I don't think that's a good thing. Yet technology it's here. It's even gonna be more enhanced going down the road, especially with all this artificial intelligence, and and a lot of things that with KW is not having that bolt-on technology. Where it's a technology in a box. I think that's where a lot of companies may be going, and not building their own technology from inside the organization, and they're going to be hamstrung down the road.
Yeah.
So,
well, because they're going to have so many other people involved or companies involved with their success.
Yeah.
And you never know when
someone's going to buy them out, and then the one company out of the 5 that are buying from them are going to buy them out eventually, and then what happens to the other 4? Now that company has all your data.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Joey and I teach a lot to agents here in the Valley about social strategies and video and technology and all that. And I do like what Gary Vaynerchuk says about. I heard him speak to a group of agents, and he basically said, if you're not embracing the technology that's here, because it's not like it's coming, it's here, and if you're not doing it, you're essentially saying, I'm like I'm like an owner of 3 bookstores before Amazon got serious.
Right.
Right,
yeah.
And I think that's where we are.
That's where we are.
But we do see a lot of agents really hesitant
to embrace it,
to get out there and do it. But technology, I think that the technology-enabled agent, right, is what's going to last and get through.
It is. I mean, I just spent a day and a half down there at the KWRI, and we were in about 10 live labs from the consumer side to the agent side, and the stuff that's coming out, I'm telling you right now, it's mind-blowing. I mean, I thought I've seen some pretty cool stuff out there, and this stuff is pretty amazing.
Cool, man. I can't wait.
It's gonna be unbelievable. So, and it's not like it's gonna happen in like 6 months. It's gonna be happening like in like a month or so.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
We'll go ahead and share it with us, and we'll just bleep this whole part. No, I'm just kidding. No, that is awesome. So before we, you know what? I wanted to also bring up though. You're also embracing technology in a podcast.
I am.
So you're going to be putting some time and effort behind a podcast.
Yeah, where my marketing director says we need to get going on the podcast. He told me, because he knows how I am, like, it's a great idea. I love it. It's going to be called Bringing It Home. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm like, listen, if you don't tell me exactly what to buy and like send me a link to where to buy it from, I just know how I am on stuff like that. Because it's something that's not in my top 20% right now.
Sure.
Yet I know it needs to be. He sent me the links. He said, good, great, best, and on the mics. And I just clicked, ordered the stuff, just got the stuff in, and we're starting to put the format together. And we got a logo. I have to finally do a final approval on it. But it's about bringing it home. Part of my charity, it's the Richard F. Barker Foundation. And I partnered up with Dennis Bear, B-A-I-R, bearfind.org. And it's about helping find missing and exploited children and bringing them home to their families. And we found... since 2010, since he started this, found 53% of the kids that went missing in the communities that we're serving. And what we do is we're in 158 minor league stadiums throughout the country, and we showcase the kids that are missing in that community. In minor league baseball, 40 million visitors go throughout the country, 80 million in the Major League Baseball stadium. So what's the best way to show in the hyper-local community where minor league baseball is a community-based event? So we've showcased 8 kids per community, and we've safely located 53% of them since 2010. So we partnered up with them.
Wow, that's amazing.
So bringing it home with the children and also with real estate, finding that first dream home for a newly married couple or these empty nesters that want to downsize. We're going to bring them home.
Yeah. So, I love that message. Yeah. That's great. Sounds like you got a heart for it, for sure.
It's I didn't have a charity that I used to just donate money to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Great organization. Yet I was just giving money. I wasn't part of something. You know, here you go, here's some money of every transaction. Yeah. And seeing how passionate my ex-teammate is, and his passion to really help these families that have nowhere to turn really inspired me to help him, fulfill his dream and fulfill his goal.
Yeah.
So his passion just exuberated onto me, and now that I'm passionate about it myself. So it's pretty cool.
You probably just won some more fans over. Yep. Because that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
That is amazing. Any other things you want to share with the agents before we move to the next segment that you feel important?
The one thing is that I would say is be very consistent in the activity that you're doing. Just don't try it for 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 weeks. If you know the activity will work, and you've been given good advice that if you just stay consistent with this, don't give up. A lot of people will stop at step 5 when it's 7 steps to get to having success, and they just don't know how close they are, and they just give up. It's just stay consistent and don't give up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Are you ready to get in the ring?
Let's get in the ring.
All right. Here we go. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Hire a coach.
All right.
Hire a coach.
How about your favorite mobile app?
KW app. Shocker, I said that, right?
Yeah. How about a book recommendation? I might know where this one's going to.
The one thing.
There we go.
The one thing.
That is a great one. And how about a productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis?
The apps for when you're meeting with a seller or buyer, honestly, just getting that net sheet, the net to sell and net to buy, it's a really important app. And buyers and sellers really, they put you on the spot like we are doing this right now. Mm-hmm. How much am I going to net? How much do I need to come up with?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, one of those can app by your favorite local title company.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Security Title does have an awesome app out there for that. So, all right. Are you ready to draw? Yep.
You have to wear the hat.
Beautiful. What is that, velvet?
You're going to make me put on the mask?
You got to wear the mask.
All right.
I can't answer until he's putting on the mask. I'm making him put on the mask.
All right. You can't hear it on the podcast, but you can see it on the video if you want to watch. Go to the end.
He's putting it on. Oh, look at this.
Wow.
You stop. Nacho Libra. Here you go.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Put your headphones on.
All right, here we go. I got to keep a straight face on this one. Who is your favorite actor or actress?
Jack Black?
This is an easy one.
Because you're looking at Jack Black.
Jack
right now, right?
Black.
No, I'm just
Easiest one. Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
Come
there
on.
we go.
You got the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
You can't. Anytime they're on, doesn't matter what time of the day, you got to watch them. Period. And if you have listening appointments, they're canceled.
Which one's your favorite?
The first one.
First one.
Yeah,
right.
the first one's legit. The first one's the best.
The one you went to Russia was pretty good.
You know what? That was really cool. It's really inspiring. And the last one he made with the son of a lot of great motivational quotes of, it's not how hard that you get hit. It's how, you got to get back up off the ground and go back. It's one of my favorite quotes.
Well, and his story is
unbelievable.
His story is amazing.
Yeah. So. Imagine if you sold it when they offered was $100,000 they offered him or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, peanuts.
When he was living on the street.
Boom.
Yeah.
Said no way. No way. And
that's awesome.
That's grit. That's grind. That's the one thing I definitely want to tell everyone. You got to have some grit and you got to grind it out. You really do.
That's awesome, man.
So.
Yeah, I should have guessed Sylvester on that one.
Yeah.
The mask gets a little warm after a while. Well, thanks, Rich. Baca.
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 There you go. That's it. Ding.
There we go. Thanks, man, for being in. It's been great.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Can you take me serious?
I can't take it. With the red around your eyes and your nose and your face. Oh, it's crazy.
Oh,
I love it.
So funny. Hey, guys, until next time, it's Jeff Underwood and
Joey Sampaga
signing off. See ya. Oh, God. That's great.
That went well.